a real better, but we would like bet like an acai bowl or milkshake or dinner the next day or something like that. So, um, we talked a lot about pathways to victory for the 49ers. We talked about some changes that the 49ers made. When we're talking about changes on offense, a huge thing they did was protect the ball last week. So I'm going to start with that. Over or under 0.5 interceptions for Brock Purdy. What do you think? You just
0.5.
mhm. Meaning like, will he throw one interception?
I'm gonna go over.
Okay.
And it's not gonna be like, no disrespect. I know people are gonna see it like, oh well, he's a Brock hater. Of course he's gonna say over. I just think he's
Yes,
gonna try
we
to
just
be
talked about their linebackers and how excellent they are.
I just think he's gonna try to push the ball a little down the field. When you start pushing the ball downfield, you risk for big plays. I think an interception is very possible with who they have on their defense. Now they, like I said, they don't have a great secondary, but they have players who can make plays. Someone makes a play on their defense.
Okay, I could see. I think I'm gonna disagree, and I'm gonna go under. Mostly because I think they're just gonna be up by so much. But I mean, you made an excellent case. I was gonna say under, and then when you were talking, I was like, oh, I completely agree with everything you're saying. Maybe I'll do it. I think they're still gonna win by a ton. No, I'm gonna go under. I think he's gonna throw because Brock Purdy, his luck has a lot to do with this. So I think he's gonna give them opportunities potentially, but I don't think they're gonna catch it. I'm gonna go under. But I think you're right. I think it's very possible that he just shoots one up because I do think that they're gonna be testing down the field a little bit more, and I have respect for those linebackers. But I'm gonna go now. Let's look at Baker Mayfield. He's probably going to be getting a lot of pressure. Potentially, those guys are on our defense are going to be getting home. Do we think Baker Mayfield over or under? I want to go 1.5 interceptions just to make it more challenging. So, do you
1.5.
think he's going to throw one interception or more than one? Is that fair, or should I have
No,
gone with
that's fair. That's
2.5?
fair because especially, I mean, our defense got a few interceptions last week, so it's fair.
Yeah, they're leading the
Um,
league. Did you know that the 49ers are leading the league in takeaways right now?
that's
I didn't
crazy. I would
realize.
have never have
Yeah,
thought about that. But hey,
me
remember people
neither.
were criticizing Steve Wilkes and his defense, huh? Um, so I'm gonna go under. I think 1.5. It's usually you don't see quarterbacks throw two interceptions unless it's a shitty game. I don't think he's gonna have a shitty game. So I'm gonna go. He likely throws an interception. But he's been taking care of the ball very well. I'm gonna go under. If it'll be one or less.
Okay. I want to go I want to go over because I think what's going to happen is he'll probably throw like one in the first three quarters. It won't be like so damaging that it kills them, but it'll just be like one on accident. And then I think they'll end up falling really behind and he might throw like a Hail Mary type intercept. Oh, no, you're right. I'll go under. You convinced me. I'll go
Yeah,
under. I think he's going to throw
I'm
one.
just looking at his stats. He's only thrown one interception in the 5 games he's had interceptions. So looking at it, he only has 5 interceptions in the year, aside for Brock. But it's his games are usually just one interception, and he kind of like shies away from probably throwing the ball. I haven't really watched
Okay.
him, but
Yeah, they might take the ball out of his hand. I think Todd Bowles goes towards running the ball more because he's more defensive minded. So you're right. I'll go under for that as well. So right now, Brock Purdy is what we have. Now, what about Nick Bosa? Do you think he's gonna get home on Baker Mayfield over or under 0.5 sacks for Nick Bosa?
Nick
He kind
Bosa
of
is
had
gonna
a
have he's gonna have over half a sack, so he'll have a full sack. I think Chase Young also has a sack, and I'm gonna throw in. I think Arik Armstead has a sack. So that's 3 sacks just alone from those 3 players.
love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, wow. Okay, I want to go. I completely agree with you. I think that the defensive line is going to have a really good game. The Buccaneers have a pretty decent offensive line. They're not at the top of the pack, but they're definitely not at the bottom. They're about where the 49ers are. And they've had some success. I was reading it was David Lombardi's tweet, but they've had some success on the right side of Baker protecting him, but I do think that the way the 49ers are going to scheme it up that Mayfield might get rattled. He's not super mobile. And I could see them getting to him, or at least one of them pushing them into the other. I kind of think it'll be like one of those things where Eric Armstead gets a sack, but it's actually because Javon Hargrave pushed him into
Yeah.
it, or Nick Bosa will get a sack, but it's because you know what I mean? I think they'll all end up getting one, but it might be because they're all working in tandem together. Um, Now let's move on to Mike Evans. Over under 0.5 touchdowns for Mike Evans.
Over. I think Mike Evans gonna touchdown this game. Mike Evans is against he's a really good receiver. Looking at Mike Evans, he's one of the I think he's gonna go down as a Hall of Fame receiver. The career he's put up has been phenomenal. 1,000 yards in I believe 10 straight seasons, maybe more. On pace for another 1,000 yard season. Um, Definitely going to go over on that one. I think Mike Evans against our secondary, who has given up big plays, has given up touchdowns to receivers. Mike Evans over a touchdown.
I really quick just wanted to bring up this. He said, for sure, the Chase and Bosa dynamic is exciting. I also find it exciting, so I just wanted to bring some attention to that. I think Mike Evans is going to get a touchdown. Now, do you think that the 49ers are going to keep having the pig in the pickle guy eating his lunch money? Do you think Brandon Ayuk is going to get a touchdown over under
I hope
0.5
I hope
touchdowns?
I hope he does just so Larry Krueger is getting pie in his face in the sense of he went rogue on Vish, explaining how mid of a season Brandon Ayuk is having. I think he has a touchdown, and I think he's gonna go more than a 15 yards. It'd be like at least like a 16 plus yard touchdown.
I think Brandon Ayuk I'm going to predict that he does, and I definitely hope that he does get a touchdown as well. We kind of established earlier, if given the opportunity, I think he'll make it happen, and hopefully, after the success that they had with distributing the ball last game, that they'll do more of that. I also know that I kind of made a joke about Larry Krueger right there, but I do enjoy him and enjoy um, his show, and I have I love all the content creators. I just thought that little conversation was kind of silly. Although, and I feel like if you would have phrased it better, I might have even agreed with him because I mean, I've kind of debated you on like whether or not they should sign Brandon Ayuk, and I've debated other people on maybe not thinking Brandon Ayuk is as talented as some fans agree with him. So I feel like I could have been on Larry's side, but just like the way that he went about trying to make his case came from like I don't know. I it's frustrating when people can't kind of reason or maybe make a valid argument for their point.
And what's crazy is
So
he didn't want to hear the other side of the argument.
no.
Well, that's the thing that's crazy. He just wanted to hear his side of the argument, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's from kind of what I got from it. So that's why I think it's funny that Brandon, you got a touchdown right after he said that.
Okay, really quick. I want to read because I never read his chats, but this is my dad. He said, I also think Baker will throw two or maybe more. My dad is out on Baker, which is
Damn.
crazy. My dad and I like debated Baker like 2 years ago. And my dad was like really high on Baker when Baker was in on the Panthers. Um, they'll they'll be behind. He'll try to do too much in the fourth quarter. That's kind of what I was saying when I think I ended up agreeing with you and only going with one. But if I was using that logic, I would agree with my dad where I think he might throw one in the regular, like when the game is intact, and then if he does throw more, it'll be kind of trying to like do a hail mary type thing. I think if he was on the Panthers, that would be more likely. But the player that he's been on the Bucks with the way that Todd Bowles seems to play call, I don't think that. I think maybe Todd Bowles takes away Baker's opportunity to do that by taking the ball out of his hands in those situations. Also, I think Baker's trying to be better with the ball because I think he realized like, hey, I might be out of the league if I keep playing like this. Um, so Chris Godwin, do we think that he is going to get a touchdown over or
No, I
under?
don't.
Okay.
I think under on Chris Godwin. I don't see them scoring more than two touchdowns. And for me to say Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, I don't think so. So I think Chris Godwin on the under. And I think it's because they're going to try to take away Chris Godwin and more so force Mike Evans to be that guy that goes crazy on them, which is an interesting thing, but kind of interesting to see how they defend it because Chris Godwin, when he's going, that offense is completely different. It opens up everything for them, in my opinion. So take away Chris Godwin, force Mike Evans to beat you, which is very possible for Mike Evans to have a crazy game. So
Okay. I'm gonna end it unless you have any other predictions that you want. I'm gonna say my score prediction. Unless do you have any other over unders that you wanna kind of talk about right now? Oh, let's do Kittle because Kittle is always such an interesting one because I feel like he can always get a touchdown, but he's one of the ones also that doesn't get opportunities. So over under 0.5 touchdowns for George Kittle.
Did he have a touchdown last week? Did he?
I don't. Yeah,
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 he
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Then I'm going under.
yeah.
Kid only scoring 2
Okay.
touchdowns 2 games in a row.
I kind of want to go under too, but that makes me really mad. Okay, over under really quick. 4 targets for Kittle. Or no, let's do 5 because he got 4 last game. Do you think he'll get over 4 targets? Not necessarily in the
Um,
red zone, but just targets in the game.
over 4?
Yeah. Believe it or not, he rarely gets over 4. I know that
I'll
seems
say
like a low
yeah.
number.
I'll say over
I hope
4.
so
He'll
too.
get 5
I think
targets.
I think winning formula for the 49ers is George Kittle gets more than 4 targets. And I think the 49ers are going to blow out Tampa. And I think maybe they learned something from their last game when they distributed the ball. So I'm going to agree with you and I'm going to go over. Kyle Shanahan, do not disappoint me. I can see that being under really easily, but I'm giving Kyle Shanahan a little bit of credit and I'm hoping that he learned from last game. But and then I'm going to say I think the 49ers are going to score 31. I think that the Bucks are going to score 13.
I mean, yeah,
31-13.
I can see that. I
So
have
I'm
28.
predicting that seems like a lot, huh? Maybe I'm not giving
I think
enough credit.
28-14.
28-14.
That's
Okay.
the kind of game I think maybe 14-point game. I don't really like giving score predictions, so when I usually do it, if I think they're gonna win by 14, I make it a fair number where
I like
it's
that.
by 14. I don't like giving score predictions because you end up having late minute like last minute drive.
Yeah, things happen. Yeah.
A team's down 20 points and then they end up scoring, and now your score predictions completely off. So I like to give a
Well, I'm
point
really gonna
spread.
hold you to your score predictions, so don't worry
I
about
mean,
that.
there's people who do on Twitter.
If it makes you feel better, Rohan and I do this like every week, and we're always extremely wrong about everything. And I was gonna say no one hold him to it, and then I was just like, wow, I held you to your Zach Wilson take. You have every
You
right to be
did,
guarded. You're
you
like, hey,
did.
what the
I was
heck?
like, damn, that was a wild shot right there. Talk about Zach
It was
Wilson on the
so
show,
funny.
and then it gets dropped
It
on
was
Twitter. I was like, damn, that's
It
crazy.
was, it was so funny. I had such a great time talking to you today, Marco. I took up so much of your time while you're wedding planning. Everyone, go subscribe to Marco, read everything he does, follow him on Twitter, give him a giant congratulations in a couple weeks when he has such a big day. And everyone, like and subscribe to this channel. I'll probably do something small tomorrow, and then I'll definitely have a instant reaction coming on Sunday, and it's going to be a really busy week with the short week and everything. So make sure to like and subscribe. I hit over 1,000 followers subscribers
Nice.
last week, and been trying to put out as much content and engage as much as possible. I've really appreciated all the support and the kindness from this community, especially from guys like Marco who have such limited time and still come on and give me a lot of theirs and entertain my funny little games, even though they know it might come back to bite them.
Thanks for having me on, Ashley. Appreciate it. Definitely go Niners, and hopefully they pick up another dub on the way to the playoffs.
Hell yeah. Go Niners. Everyone have a great Friday. Stay hydrated.